Good Friday morning. Here is the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion briefing for this Friday, March 24th, taking us through the next 7 days. And if we look at precipitation that has occurred in the past week on the left-hand side, you can see fairly light amounts across southern Nevada, but heavier amounts. These green shades here indicate anywhere from a ½ inch to an inch or more of rain, and even some locally higher pockets in those yellows, all through the Wasatch and higher terrain of the Utah mountains into the Uintas and even to parts of northern Arizona. Heavy precipitation again across parts of the mountains of central Idaho into western Wyoming and into the lee of the Sierra into extreme western portions of Nevada. So again, a fairly wet pattern, but more so as you head further north. Still dry further south. You can see the percent of normal actually below normal in a lot of areas, with the exception of much of the higher terrain of central and northern Utah and the mountains of central Idaho. Here's a look at our satellite imagery with upper-level maps superimposed. We can see that the low-pressure area, which produced precipitation across the eastern Great Basin, has quickly moved out into the Rockies and Plain states. A weak ridge of high pressure now building overhead, but it will be very short-lived because another strong storm system dropping down out of Alaska through the Pacific Northwest into northern California will start bringing precipitation into the western areas of the Great Basin later on today and spreading eastwards, covering most of the region by tomorrow, and waiting further in its wings another storm system for the early to middle part of next week. So a pretty active weather pattern as we go through the next 7 days. So looking at our forecast models for later this afternoon, you can see that by late today, high pressure has shifted to our east, and we already have moisture moving into the western and central portions of the Great Basin with more precipitation. On the right-hand side, dispersion is excellent in those areas. You see the white, so really good for burning conditions, and that goes for both the transport winds, moderate to strong coming out of the southwest, where you see the orange and purple shades of mean transport winds anywhere from 25 to 35 or even 40 miles per hour. On the right-hand side, mixing heights looking pretty good this afternoon as well. And then Saturday, that weather system starts affecting the eastern Great Basin, starts actually moving on out, but we already see the leading edge of the next system, so no real strong high pressure in between. And in that kind of a pattern, dispersion remains excellent on the right-hand side, where you see areas in the white. Transport winds diminishing a little bit, but still up there from the west or northwest across Nevada, still gusty across the eastern portions of the Great Basin, and especially down into the Arizona Strip. And mixing heights overall, no major problems. Some of these lower heights you see down here are just due to cloud cover and some snow cover, which will be getting some more fresh snow across the mountains of northern Utah. Now, as we go into Sunday, we do see another weather systems pushing on through real briefly, clipping us with more moisture. Dispersion overall remaining good. Transport winds. They are looking good as well. We have them coming out of basically the south and southwest. Mixing heights also, with those shades of yellow and orange, are excellent. And looking at the Utah Clearing Index as we go from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, lowest today, lots of cloud cover and actually some snow cover in some parts of eastern areas, but there is some high pressure overhead. That's responsible for that, but conditions improve on Saturday, diminish a bit on Sunday as more cloud cover comes back in. Now, if we look at the 3-day precipitation totals from Friday morning through Monday morning, basically this weekend, you can see moderate amounts across mountains of northern Utah into the central Nevada mountains out by Ely. Heavy amounts in that bluish shade, where you see a ½ inch to an inch in those darker or brighter blue shades. So overall, just about everybody except the extreme southern tip of Nevada will get some precipitation. As we look further down the road on Monday, we have lingering moisture still with some scattered showers affecting parts of the Great Basin, especially the eastern areas. Dispersion overall is excellent. On Tuesday, that system moves on to our east. We have another system pushing on in, moving onshore across the Pacific Northwest, and again, very good dispersion conditions given by those white and yellow areas. On Wednesday, We have more moisture plowing on in, still some sunshine across eastern and southern portions of the Great Basin. This little ridge of high pressure, there may be some temporary worsening of the ventilation or dispersion where you see those areas in the red, but that'll quickly dissipate on Thursday as another trough of low pressure mixes things up with more instability and more wind and more precipitation. We looked at precipitation from Monday morning through Wednesday morning, and again, moderate to locally heavy amounts of a ½ inch to over an inch across the mountains of Idaho, and still light to moderate amounts across the portions of central Idaho and into western Wyoming. South and western areas stay primarily dry. And looking down the road, 8 to 14 day outlook, this takes us from March 31st to April 6th. See temperatures near normal, maybe a slight lean towards above normal, but a little wetter than normal across eastern areas, drier than normal across our western portions. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day, great weekend, and we'll be back with another briefing this coming Monday.